I'm Ryan with Fielding Tree Care. I'm one of our certified arborists on staff, and today I'm going to talk to you a little bit about the blue spruce, or the Colorado blue spruce. So as the common name implies, this is actually the state tree of Colorado. Um, Beautiful blue foliage, which is, I would say, its most attractive quality. If we look at the small section of branch itself, um, we can see that the needles, sort of like the concolor fir that we had talked about previously, arise singly from the stems. So they're not in bundles like pine, but comparatively to that concolor fir, the needles are angled, which is a difficult characteristic to see visually. But if you take a needle and you roll it in your fingers, you can very easily feel the angles on that needle. So again, needles that arise individually from the stem that are fore-angled. Generally speaking, they're much shorter than the concolor fir needles and certainly shorter than a pine needle. If there is an individual that has exposed trunk in kind of the lower section of the tree where you can look at the bark, typically it's scaly. It doesn't develop really big ridges and furrows, but it's generally kind of a medium gray color with smaller bark plates, I guess you could call them. But scaly bark, and again, known for their just beautiful blue coloration in the foliage. And actually touching the needles, you can kind of rub off the coating that's on the needles, and it exposes a more medium green color. And that is what we call a waxy or glaucous coating on the needles, which is just really prominent in the blue spruce. So that waxy coating kind of gives it its blue coloration as it's covering the more medium green color underneath. As far as form goes, these trees are very large. I see them very frequently planted on the corners of houses, just much too close to the house for a tree, which can cause issues down the road. In urban environments, I think a lot of developers, they plant them there when they're small to kind of give a little bit more charisma to a house, and they don't really think about the ultimate size of that tree and how it will conflict with the house later. So if you're considering planting a blue spruce, definitely consider planting it away from the house where it has a little bit of room to breathe, and so you don't have to constantly cut it away from the house, or strip one side bare so it's not rubbing on the house. As far as pest and disease issues go with this species, they are one of the preferred species for the Ips beetle. There are several species of Ips that exist in the urban environment here in the Denver metro, but the spruce Ips is the number one pest of spruce trees. And as I had mentioned before in a previous video, they will target stressed trees first. So one of the main facets of prevention is keeping the tree healthy through proper watering. Soil conditioning fertilizer is a great option to kind of maintain the health of the tree as well. If we do find that there's an infestation of the Ips in the general area and it hasn't gotten to your trees yet, we typically will recommend some sort of preventative treatment, whether it be a canopy spray of an insecticide or a trunk injection to protect that tree. Both are pretty effective. The spruce Ips far and away is the biggest threat to the existence of these trees in urban environments. And certainly, you can go into the mountains and you can see the devastation that other similar bark beetles can do with increased drought and less snowpack in the winter. So again, keeping the tree healthy is really important as a preventative measure for protecting against some of these pests. As far as longevity goes of the species, the blue spruce in an urban environment, if it's kept healthy, can live upwards of 75 years. So it's a great urban choice because it is generally tolerant of our soil conditions, and it lives for a long time. That's the Colorado blue spruce, our state tree. Thanks for watching, and feel free to follow us on social media.